Welcome to Blazing Baseball, June 21st, 2023, where we blaze through today's baseball topics, and we are Astros, Yankees, and Marlins fans. And already, Astros today beat the Mets 8 to 10.
Yeah.
And great win. And the Yanks are playing the Mariners, and they're winning 3-0 right now. Yesterday the Astros beat the Mets 4 to 2, and the Yankees beat the Mariners 3 to 1.
Yep. I got the box scores.
Awesome. And then yesterday, to recap the last games, the White Sox beat the Rangers 7-6, which we're going to talk about because they had the worst play ever possibly on a replay overturned.
Definitely. Bad call by the replay umpire.
Yep. The Giants beat the Padres 4-3, and the Dodgers beat the A's 2-0. Already today, the Rays beat the Orioles 7-2. The Blue Jays beat the Marlins 6-3. The Reds beat the Rockies 5-3. The Cubs beat the Pirates 8-3. The Tigers beat the Royals 9-4. The D-backs beat the Brewers 5-1. The Stros beat the Mets 10-8. The Nats beat the Cards 3-0. And right now the Braves at Phillies is delayed. And playing now, we have the Mariners at Yanks, the A's at Guardians, the Bum Sox at Twins, the Rangers at White Sox, and later today we have the Dodgers at Angels and the Padres at Giants.
Well, baseball tonight. Baseball. The Astros look good. Like Bregman had a 2-run home run to win the game 4-2 over the Mets. Valdez got the win. He's 7-5 for this, and he went 8 innings. He gave up 2 earned runs. He had 9 strikeouts, and his earned run average dropped down to 2.27. He is 7-5 for the season. And then Presley came in and pitched the 9th inning, and he got his 13th save of the season with a strikeout and no hits. His earned run average is 3.26. Good all-around game for the Astros, bouncing back from the 34,606 fans at the beautiful Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It went, and the Yankees came back too, and they won 3-1 over Seattle Mariners in Bronx, New York. Yankees did have 8 hits, which is good. They're snapping back, popping the bat. Rizzo had a double. McKinney had a home run for a 2-run blast, and they won 3-1. Cole was the winning pitcher. Cole is now 8-1 for the season. He pitched 7 1/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits and only 1 earned run. He had 8 strikeouts, and his ERA is now 2.64. So it looks like he's won 8 games in a row because he lost his first game. So there were 43,130 screaming fans at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx cheering the win last night. Now they're at it again. And Houston already won.
Yep.
Oh, Houston won 10-8. Yankees playing right now, winning 3-0.
Yep. The lineup for the Yanks, sorry if I mispronounced any names of this podcast, is Luis Castillo with a 2.89 ERA, and pitching for the Yanks is Johnny Brito with a 4.89 ERA. Up first for the Mariners is Caballero at shortstop, and then Rodriguez at center field, and then France at first base, and then Hernandez at right field, and then Kalenic at left field, and then Suarez at third base, and then Rowley at catcher, and then Ford at DH, and then Wong at second base. And then up first for the Yanks is Bowers at right field, and then Torres at second base, and then Calhoun at DH, and then Rizzo at first base, and then Donaldson at third base, and then Bader at center field, and then McKinney at left field, and then Higashioka at catcher, and then Volpe at shortstop.
Yeah. Good.
Mm-hmm. Also in today's news, according to the Associated Press, it says MLB sued by 17 ex-scouts who say they were discriminated against because of their age. And this is by the Denver Associated Press. 17 former Major League Baseball scouts who say they were discriminated against because of their age sued the league, its teams, and Commissioner Rob Manfred on Wednesday. The lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court in Denver. The former scouts alleged violations of the Federal Age Discrimination and Employment Act of 1967, along with laws in 11 states and New York City. The scouts, ranging from 55 to 71, alleged they were discriminated against from 2020 to 2022. They say MLB and the teams, quote, have acted to prevent the reemployment of older scouts or refuse the reemployment of older scouts, end quote. They also say an MLB provision that offsets scouts' salaries when they sign with a new team, but are still being paid by a previous team which they've been fired is discriminatory. MLB said in a statement it looks, quote, forward to refuting these claims in court, end quote, but it does not comment on pending litigation.
Right. Well, they're going to a jury, not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They're all 51 years old, so something went wrong there.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want bad press against old because they're huge fan bases, old guys like me. And so I think they want to straighten that out, and I'm sure that they will. I think that they'll come to an agreement on what's fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes on to say, quote, this lawsuit is about age discrimination within a sport that supposedly values history, tradition, and putting the best possible product on the field, end quote. Lawyer Mitchell C. Abita of Kilgore and Kilgore Statement said in a statement. The plaintiffs are headed by former Chicago Cub Scout James S. Benedict, who was terminated in 2020. They seek class action certification. The former scouts alleged violations of laws in Alabama, Arizona, California, Florida, Indiana, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Ohio, Texas, and Utah. And so the other sports topic we were going to talk about, and I was watching this one live, but I'm going to read the ESPN article, but the title is Bruce Bochy Dumbfounded as Overturned Call Costs Rangers. So, an overturned play at the plate that would produce the Chicago White Sox winning run Tuesday night drew the ire of Texas Rangers manager Bruce Bochy, who labeled it absolutely one of the worst calls I've ever seen. The White Sox rallied with 3 runs in the 8th inning to beat the Rangers 7-6, with Zach Remillard singling and Alvis Andrus with the go-ahead run on a play that was overturned by a video review. Remillard
watched the play multiple times. That never.
Mm-hmm.
They said that the catcher blocked the plate. The path of the runner, he did not. He tagged him out.
Mm-hmm.
Tag. I was a catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I know that was not. He was not blocking the plate. He tagged him out, and the umpire overturned on the field. The umpire on the field called him out correctly. Mm-hmm. For Major League Baseball and the way that they review calls and how they can make that mistake. Mm-hmm. Because then that changed the outcome of the game.
Oh, yeah. They lost because of it.
And the reviewing umpire is supposed to be the good one.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows you all the umpires are bad.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Mm-hmm. So,
well, the Astros won today, 10-8. I just wanted to get some stats on that, okay? Mm-hmm. Houston had 9 hits. Jordan had a double, and McCormick and Diaz both had home runs. So that's what powered the Astros. Javier was the starting pitcher, but the win went to Maton. He's 1-2 for the season, and he's got an earned average of 1.46. The Astros put up 7 pitchers, except 8 runs, so they didn't pitch that well, but they sure did hit well. So that's how they won the game. They got the 14th season. He came in the 9th inning and was perfect. He had 2 strikeouts, and his earned run dropped to 3.1. So there were 1,279 fans at Minute Maid Park cheering the Astros on to defeat the Mets 10-8, giving the Astros a 41-34 record, second place in the AL West. Take it away, Mr. Colby.
Yep. So, in the MLB standings, in the AL East, the Rays are in first place, 5 games over the Orioles. In the AL Central, the Twins are 1 game over the Guardians in first place. In the AL West, the Rangers are in first, 5 games over the Angels and the Astros. In the NL East, the Braves are in first place, 6 games over the Marlins. In the NL Central, the Reds are 1.5 games over the Brewers. And in the NL West, the D-backs are 3 games over the Giants.
Holy cow. Cincinnati Reds have won 11 games in a row. Reds, small ball.
They're the team that finally did it. They got past the 10-game win streak.
They this year, right? And they're 40-35 on the season now, and they're a game and a half ahead of Milwaukee Brewers. Hats off to the Cincinnati Reds.
Yep.
For them coming back and doing it. Take over, Colby. Puking.
All right, and we'll catch y'all here on Blazing Balls in a minute, blazing through today's other sports ball topics. Peace.